Bro, it's like, even in my 50s, my 60s, I don't care how much time passes. I will never in my life entertain a GOAT debate in sports beyond what I've seen from Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. There's nothing I like. There's nothing I haven't seen that can change my views. This dude was cut from that Mamba cloth, bro. You know what I mean? The Mamba mentality. Not the most athletic quarterback you've ever seen. He didn't really have like the superstar look. You didn't look at Tom Brady as a rookie and said, that's him. He's next man up. 6th round, 199, bro. Even his own franchise bypassed him 5 times. So he was like a lightning in a bottle, something you never seen, something you couldn't even foresee coming. Like, 20 years later, we're talking GOAT status. We're talking 7 championships for 2 different franchises, winning a ring. His first year on a brand new team. Granted, it was a loaded team, but nonetheless, he went through Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then it only got easier, right? In the Super Bowl, faced Patrick Mahomes, the one that we're trying to now pass the baton to. It'll never be in the same discussion. Patrick Mahomes, if you want to call him the brand new GOAT, the next man up, he still lost to Brady, and that's something he can't ever really undo. And then we're asking him to get to 7. Granted, he's at 3, but TB12, bro. When we highlight the legacy of like LeBron James, we talk about the longevity. Some guys are just stat guys and some guys are just career guys. You know what I mean? Dudes like Brady and LeBron, man, like they were both. They were just both. Like, they had the stats and they had the accolades. Like, we have MVPs in the history of football that never won championships. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But this dude, what didn't he achieve? Even in the decade, because people get things misconstrued, 20-year career, 7 championships. There was nearly like a decade Brady went without making it to the Super Bowl. We kind of forget that, right? Where other teams like the Steelers were winning championships, plethora of other teams that's not like coming to my mind right now. But like, even in that same time span, we weren't making it to the Super Bowl. This man was delivering minimum 12 wins out of a 16 season football season. The standard was like 13 wins. You couldn't go to New England and win, bro. You needed to be Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? You needed to be the upper echelon to beat this man at home. Home field advantage was the standard. Can you remember too many New England games on the road? You know what I mean? We're talking about a man that just made 13 wins the staple. And he got better as he got older, man. Like, I could go in on Brady, bro. That's my quarterback. I'm always going to say it every video. That's why he's so great that he's the reason I'm still a Patriot fan today, bro. Even though I know that we're the worst franchise in the league and there's nothing to even debate. We got the worst roster I've ever seen in sports. But nonetheless, bro, his greatness just speaks for itself. So we got Tom Brady on the worst and best teammates and the importance of work ethic. Yeah, when Brady talk, bro, I tune in, man, because this dude, he's battle tested. You know what I mean? Greatest comeback in the Super Bowl. Yo, even if you was a hater of Brady, dog, even if you didn't, like, you hated the fact that he was so successful and he was married to a supermodel and like, oh, he got mad fans, like it's natural to hate on greatness. It just comes with the territory. But you couldn't tell me after that Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl, you weren't just in awe. You couldn't tell me that, bro. A loss for words, speechless, not believing what you saw the night before. For those of you that had to wake up to go to work the following morning and walked away from the Super Bowl at halftime, you're stunned. Just impossible. Not too many things. You're not really going to see people do the impossible. But under those circumstances, under those bright lights, under the pressure, 28-3. This man goes and scores like 35 unanswered points in the Super Bowl. And here we go.
The National Football League. Obviously, it's incredibly more complicated than other sports to play. I'm not trying to say that a manager for Major League Baseball doesn't have responsibilities, a head coach for the NBA doesn't have responsibilities, but you can ultimately give them the ball and say, take me there. Sure. I can't swing the bat for you, Aaron Judge. You got to do that. I can't shoot a J for you, Steph Curry. You got to do that.
Yeah.
But in football, it's so much more difficult. So in regards to that, I get it, but I still lean on what Nick Saban talked to me about, because I've had the pleasure of having private conversations
Go,
with
coach.
Nick Saban. And he talked about leadership and being a leader of men. How important is that in today's NFL compared to what it was back in the day, in your estimation?
Yeah, so I'm not going to give up on the fact of leadership, and being leader of men is one of the critical components to being a great player, quarterback, coach, owner. We all need more leaders in this world. We all need more people that are, worried about solutions than complaints. We need more leaders that are willing to step up and do more than do less, that are willing to push people to be more disciplined than less disciplined. We need more people to be team-focused and less self-focused. If we want to be successful in anything, it takes a team full of people. And a team full of people can't always be worried about what's in it for them all the time.
Right.
In all my experiences, in all my experiences in sports, whether it was high school sports, college sports, pro sports, the greatest team we had, you woke up every day and you went in there saying, what can I do to help the team win? Not what can the team do for me to promote myself as an individual. And we played teams that were more interested in being Pro Bowl players than Super Bowl players. And to me, there was a big difference between being a star and being a champion. And champions do what it takes to win every single day, no matter what it is. There's no job that's too big or too small for a champion.
So here's a question, and this begs the question. And listen, we're here at Fanatics Fest. We're having a good time. I'm not going to mention any names. But throughout history, there has been, dare I say, some prima donnas, some me kind of players that have shown up on football teams. And we won't mention any names, okay?
Who are you talking about?
Would Tom Brady have done with a teammate like that?
Well, that's a great question, and typically it is the receiver position where that comes from. And can I explain why? Those poor guys, they stand out 23 yards from everyone else every single play. And we break the huddle, and there's 5 linemen who are all in it together, and the tight end's part of the O-line, and the quarterback's part of that group, and the running back's right behind us. And then those receivers got to run 23 yards away, and the only person they talk to all game is the corner. And that corner's talking smack the whole game to them. And believe me, that corner's away from everybody else too. So you got these 2 guys out there 25 yards from the center, and the only thing they do is talk to each other. Man, when are they going to throw you the ball? Well, I'm going to throw me the ball on this play. And they just go back and forth all game. So they get a little angry when the ball doesn't come their way. So I think part of it is understanding that particular position in the NFL always has an inherent degree of selfishness. Because, look, they want, and I would say that's not always a negative, they want to help you win the game.
Right.
They want to contribute. They don't want to go through
Yo,
a losing
listen.
game.
I hear you, Brady, but when I think of some of the greats that's always wanted the ball, Randy, Terrell, let's just stay on those 2. Top 4 all time, arguably. I'm pretty sure the corners guarding them never said a damn thing. T.O. was self-motivated. He came on the field talking. Randy Moss, self-motivated. He came on the field talking. You know what I mean? So some of them are just natural divas. Just give them the ball, period. Whether man guarding me want to communicate or not, I'm here to tell him what I'm going to do to him. So, you know what I mean? I don't know.
And then look at their stat sheet. And I was targeted 2 times. You have Tyreek Hill. You have Justin Jefferson. You have Jamar Chase. You don't want to lose the game and look over and see those guys were targeted once or twice in the game. You want to try to feed them the ball. And believe me, if I was a quarterback, I'd be wanting to feed them the ball too. Good defenses, they try to...
Believe it, yeah. Y'all remember, what was it, 09? Oh, yo, that one year with Randy? 23. Come on now.
And I don't think the receivers always
Come on.
necessarily understand that.
That's right.
You are not... yo, Brady, hold on. You are not clamping up Randy Moss. This man had the perfect season. Perfect season. Wide receiver, 23 touchdowns. Can I entertain you with that? Over 1,500 yards. Can I? Come on, man. Randy had games with... Bro, Randy was having games with 4 receiving touchdowns. 4. And I think he did it twice. And he had like 3 games where it was like 3 TDs. Yo, Brady was feeding his receivers the ball, man.
Tell them, you don't understand. When they have a certain defense called, they're sometimes putting 1.5 players on you and sometimes 2 players. And in that case, I got to throw to somebody else that has a better matchup. Now, when you get a true one-on-one, we're going to get you the ball, just like every other sport, just like basketball. If they got 2 on LeBron, there's 1 guy free.
Right.
And I think being a good quarterback is kind of being that point guard and seeing, okay, where is there extra coverage, and then where can I get the ball where it's for the easiest opportunity for us to gain yards. And the opportunity, if they give LeBron a one-on-one, then give him the ball.
Right.
And that's the point. That's how you play quarterback. You're out there a point guard, you're just dishing the ball to the people who can do something with it.
The eloquence of that delivery is just phenomenal. That's why you're Tom Brady. But respectfully, it didn't answer my question. If you had a teammate,
Yeah. Okay.
that was that kind of prima donna,
Yeah.
how? I'll put it to you this way: I once interviewed Joe Montana, and I was bringing that very scenario up. Joe Montana said I'd look at him and whisper in his ear, "You want to see the ball for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You better chill out."
Yeah.
I'm asking Tom Brady, what would Tom Brady do?
So what Tom Brady would do, and I've tried, is I would try to connect with that player on he's really interested in, he can relate to.
Brady's such a nice guy,
what's
yo.
going on with him and his life and why he's feeling the way he's feeling, and then try to rationalize things to a degree and say, hey, I understand what you're saying, but from my standpoint, this is how I see it. So it's really about creating that connection through that relationship that you're trying to build with those particular receivers. The unfortunate thing about that is you're never going to get 100% of the way there. You could spend all your time and energy trying to connect with someone who's more self-focused, but in the end, that's their character and that's who they are. You may realize that maybe you could get 5% more out of them or 10%, but you may not get 20 or 30% more out of them. And I think that's anyone who's in here in a career, who's working, who's in charge of people and running a business. You find people that may be a little self-focused. You could put a lot of time and energy in them, and that's important because by doing that, you can actually minimize some of the distraction. But at the same time, you got to understand what the realistic expectations are for that as well. And then the opportunity, if they become too selfish, then at some point, they got to go play for the competition. And that's just the reality of sports. I think that's why it's very important to understand their emotional aspects to every athlete as well. We often evaluate athletes only on their physical ability. I watch the NFL draft. Oh, he's going to be a great player. Oh, watch him roll right and escape here. Watch him make this throw. He throws it hard. Watch him throw the downfield ball. And I'm sitting here going, okay, well, that's about 1/3 of what he needs to do to be successful.
Right.
What about the other 2/3 that nobody is thinking about? How does he deal with failure? How does he deal with success? Is he involved in game planning? Is he a good leader? Is he going to learn from year to year? Is he going to be better in the 8th game of the year than he was in the 1st? How does he take care of himself? Does he have good habits off the field? What's his background like? Does he know how to deal with a degree of adversity?
Right.
So to me, that's such a small part of it. And I think we all have to understand that we're all emotional beings. And if you want to really actualize your true potential, you've got to become really in control of your emotions. The best players I had and the best teammates I ever had, they showed up to work every day. I never had to worry about their effort or their attitude. I knew that when I called a play, Wes Welker, he was going to run his ass off on every play, whether he got it or whether he didn't.
Yo, listen, man. He never had to worry because them boys was living paycheck to paycheck, bro. them New England wide receivers, they weren't allowed to be divas in Bill Belichick's office, bro. Like, the way Bill ran shit, dog, like, Bill was just so old school. Like, what personality? None of them had personality. None of them had flavor. None of them could demand a ball from Brady. It's like, yo, I'm going to put you in. You're going to get 7 catches for 95 yards every game. Slot receiver, 5'9", 5'10", the tallest. That was it. I mean, but none of these guys were ballers.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And he was going to know what he had to do on every play. And every play,
Blue-collar wide receivers. That's New England right there, bro. Ain't no 6'5", 6'4". We had that one year with Randy. Everything else was just, you know, your typical average Joe wide receivers. You know, put your helmet on. Go work your 9 to 5, you know what I mean? Do what's asked. That's it.
So when I was in a huddle with Wes Welker, I never thought for 1 second whether he was going to do the right thing or not. That is frees my
Wes Welker was a
mind up
problem.
to do what I need to do because my job's not easy. And if I got to worry about, oh, God, I look out and I see a receiver, I'm like, oh, God, he doesn't even look like he knows. He barely lined up right. He's looking over at the sideline. It looks like he's trying to ask the coach, what do I got? And I'm like, he's out.
Right.
I'm throwing the ball somewhere else.
But would you? It's one thing to say he's out. You're going to throw the football to somebody else. Were you the type of player that was an extension of the coach from the standpoint you'd go to the coach and be like, look, he don't have it. He's not on his game. He didn't do. Some coaches see that for themselves. Some coach looks for the leaders to see that for them as well. Which kind of player were you?
Well, no, I would just tell him directly, he's out. Put him out. I'm not. And I would tell the coach. And I would tell the coach, don't put him in because I'm not throwing him the ball.
Right.
So you put him in, just that we got 10 guys out there. So believe me, as a quarterback, that's the best thing you got. You hold the ball. So, and I would tell receivers on certain.
That's the Brady I know. That's the Brady I know right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Skip Bayless coins him, Psycho Tom, the one with the edge, the one with the flare.
No,
what?
And I would tell the coach, don't put him in because I'm not throwing him the ball.
Right.
So you put him in, just that we got 10 guys out there. So you believe me, as a quarterback, that's the best thing you got.
There we go, man.
So, and I would tell receivers on certain routes, I had a lot of pet peeves as a quarterback. And certain things I said, for example, if I was running an outside breaking route from the inside of the field to outside field, and we went inside the defender, I told the receivers, I'm never throwing you the ball. So do it. I don't care whether you do it or not. You do it. I'm never throwing. I'm just looking at someone else. So try to get outside, push them all the way up to your depth, and then break out. Give me a chance. So that gets the point across pretty quickly if they realize that's the case for them.
Sheesh. Goat talk, man. Tom Brady on worst and best teammates. But like I said, dog, 1 in a million. Like, how many quarterbacks you know gonna play 20 years and get better in their 40s? Same thing goes with LeBron. How many small forwards do you think are gonna come in the NBA and after 15 years they still sustain the same excellence they came in with? Like, it's just not. You almost can't even compute. But this was Brady, man. Tom Brady on worst and best teammates, importance of work ethic. This dude was the GOAT. If you ain't grow up watching him, you think it's Mahomes, click on YouTube and do your Googles. Google him, Chuck. I'm gonna holler at you guys next video. Hit the like and subscribe button. You already know the vibes, man. But when the GOAT talk, you gotta pull up, man.